right, so here with ATT coach Mike Brown, who of course has the two big title fights, Dustin Poirier and Amanda Nunes. You know, I hear so many fighters say that they get more nervous watching their peers compete than competing themselves. Is that true for you, or are you under a lot of pressure this week? Sometimes we don't think about that with the coaches.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it is. It's like when you're in a car. If you're not in control of the wheel, sometimes it's even more scary.
What about just the story behind Dustin, man? I mean, like, we're all talking about it this week, and everybody knows that it's been such a long journey for this guy, and now he's got the money, he's got the fame now. That one box that he doesn't have is that undisputed UFC championship. Like, does he feel that? And then as his coach, like, and his good friend, are you feeling that? Is it an extra kind of just sort of thing there around this week?
Of course. No, this is it. This is what matters. This was the goal from day one, and he's been so close a couple times, and now he's in position. No shortcuts. Didn't take the quick path. He took the very long road, right? One of the longest roads ever to get to the UFC title, and here he is, well prepared and in shape and focused and ready to win.
I mean, this might be something that only us on the outside talk about, but when you know that, when you know how long the road's been, and that maybe, you know, you never know, this could be the last opportunity to check that box for him. Like, from a mental standpoint, do you steer into that and like really embrace, like, hey, man, this is do or die, man. This is like elimination game.
No, I don't think so. I think it's another fight. You know, it's no needed. Every fight has got incredible pressure on it. No need to add more pressure. He's been there before. And we thought we'd never get back there before, but things happen, and a couple fights go by, and here we are again. But I think his resume stands above everyone else at the weight class, and he's definitely that caliber, championship caliber, and he has been for a long time.
Yeah, and you guys have known that for a long time.
Yeah,
I remember talking to you about it before the third Conor fight, the second Conor fight this year. And you were saying, we feel like the champion. Like we're going to go get this money fight, but we feel like we're the champion.
Yeah.
You know, do you feel like the champion going into this week, or do you feel like a title challenger here?
I mean, we feel like the challenger only because we know we don't have, that moniker. We don't have that title, and that's the goal. That's, all the rankings don't mean anything except that number one spot. We felt like a champion when he beat Max Holloway for the interim title. That felt like a championship fight, even though it wasn't officially. It felt like it. Max was the current world champ. Max is, future Hall of Famer. One of the best to ever do the sport, to ever fight, and that felt damn good. But here we are. We're a challenger, but Dustin's a special athlete and has many gifts, and he's put in the work, put in the time, and I think it's his time to shine.
You and your camp have a lot of experience with this, because obviously ATT, they just, you guys have a lot of headlining fights. But was there anything you had to think about, or any concern over just jumping right back into like a 5-round camp? This is going to be his third 5-round fight of this calendar year. Was there any sort of, how's he feeling? Like, is there any kind of physical sort of thing that you have to adjust for that?
No, he's 100% healthy, and this guy's built for 5-rounders, man. This is where he shines. I think I'd much rather him fight a 5 than a 3. I think that he's not normal, man. His conditioning is off the charts. He doesn't get tired like other people. He hits harder than everybody else, and that power doesn't go away. So you got 25 minutes of hard hitting Dustin Poirier coming after you. This is it's not easy to get through that.
Mike, you fly around the world in corner fighters like almost every weekend. How dangerous is Charles compared to any other opponent that you fought? The level of danger factor where, man, this guy could just finish it at any time. What, compared to all of the other guys that you see on a weekly basis, where is he at in the sport?
At the top, 100%. Obviously, super dangerous. The guy has more submissions than anybody in the history of the sport in the UFC, right? So, and he also can crack. He has the ability to knock you out or submit you. Very, very dangerous, right? But so is Dustin, and I think stylistically, I like the matchup. Dustin is BJJ is black belt level, and I'd just say he's well-rounded enough to fight anywhere.
In addition to being obviously dangerous, do you think Charles is unpredictable, or do you see patterns in the way he's able to set up these finishes?
I mean, of course there are patterns, but I think he's very aggressive. He's very aggressive for the finish. You know, he's looking for the finish. He's coming forward. He's throwing hard. He's aggressively going after the submissions. He's always going for the kill.
Dustin wins. What do you see for his future? Do you think he's going to be a guy who just goes right down the list and starts defending, just racking up title defenses, or what do you think is left for his career? What would you want to see in his career?
I mean, I think that, yeah. I mean, he's in the business to make money, so whatever brings the biggest paycheck. But he's also interested in longevity records, you know, really leaving his mark, and he's up there. He's got so many longevity records, and he's adding to them all the time, and I think he's enjoying this. And but he's also very big for the weight class. I wouldn't put it past him to bump up to 170 at some point. I think before it's all said and done, I think we'll see him at welterweight for maybe some fun fights, but he'll add to that, to his legacy, I think, by defending that title against whoever they bring to him.
Okay, last one. It's probably one that I don't know is like a camp you want to answer right now, but just humor me. What do you, in your opinion, it's pure speculation, what are the chances that he fights Conor McGregor next year?
Man, I have no idea, right? But it wouldn't put it past the UFC for getting it together, because it would sell, right? And I know McGregor wants to fight, and I'm sure Dustin wouldn't mind the paycheck, so that could be in the future. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yep. And in the co-main, of course, you got Amanda Nunes. Just talk about training her. You know, I'm sure you get this every time that she fights, but how do you keep her motivated? How do you keep her engaged? What is she improving on at this point in her career? Like, what are her camps like when you're the GOAT and you're winning in multiple weight classes?
I mean, surprisingly, the past 6 months, 8 months, whatever it is, I feel like she's training more and improving more. As crazy as that sounds, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's with her confidence growing or her maturity, but I feel like she's kind of honing in on what it takes to get better, like almost getting better at getting better. And I feel like she's adding more weapons to her game, and she seemed to be more in the gym more often than in the past. I really believe it's a little bit of a snowball effect. I feel like she's getting better, and I think you're going to see it.
And that's scary for all of the other women who are going to compete against her, is that she is getting better. I mean, I talked to you about other fights that don't involve your guys. You know, you do some experts breakdowns for me occasionally, and you'll be honest in them and say, I don't really see a great path to victory for this person.
Yeah.
Do you see a path to victory for Juliana? Do you have to almost, as a coach, say, like, we can't overlook her, so I need to kind of create one in my head? Like, do you really see a path to victory for Juliana here?
I mean, I do. I mean, she's got a lot of experience. She's been in the game for a long time. She's strong wrestling, strong grappling. So she's somebody that can't be overlooked, very dangerous, and she seems confident. I don't know if it's real confidence or not, but she seems like she believes in herself. So that's a dangerous opponent, and this is her shot. She might never get another one. So I know she's probably trained the hardest she's ever trained, and given everything she's got, for this 25 minutes. So she definitely can't be overlooked.
And she's definitely been poking the bear. Have you seen at all anything that Amanda has she noticed this? Has she been fired up at all by anything?
I mean, I don't talk about stuff like that with Amanda, but I'm sure she sees it, and I'm sure she will be fired up, and yeah, she'll be bringing some heat on Saturday night.
So I got two more things to ask you before I let you go. I wanted you to give you an opportunity to talk about the Kyoji Horiguchi fight in Bellator last weekend when he fought Sergio Pettis. He was looking phenomenal up until the spinning back fist, of course. And that can happen in this sport. Just talk about what you saw in his performance and just kind of what you see for him moving forward, because I know he's a guy that you are just incredibly high on.
Yeah, man, I truly believe he's the best in the world. This sport is can be so cruel at times. A guy who's put in so much work and he's so talented, and I thought he was fighting very well. I thought he was fighting an excellent fight. Wasn't overlooking Sergio. Was fighting very cautious and careful and strategic, and mixing it up, striking, wrestling. We saw more wrestling from Kyoji in this fight than any fight in the past, and it was all working, and he was doing great. But all it takes is, a split second, of losing. Just one mistake is all it takes, right? And the fight can be over. And my hat's off to Sergio for beautiful, highlights, winning back fist KO. But nobody has a stronger mind than Kyoji, and this guy is so positive and so upbeat about any circumstance. It's truly incredible. I see him coming back stronger, and I see him winning the world title once again.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sure it can't hurt that he's got really something to look forward to now with that Grand Prix as well. That's another exciting thing to get in there. It's almost like an immediate kind of ticket to redemption for what happened in that fourth round of that fight. Final thing I want to ask you about is Jorge Masvidal. He was supposed to be on this card, of course, to fight Leon Edwards. What's up with Jorge? Has he been in the gym at all? He says he's injured. Can you give us any update on Jorge?
Dude, George was training like crazy, man. This guy was back to the laboratory as always, working his ass off, and dude, he was in shape. He was ready. He was. I feel like we were just starting to begin to peak for the fight a little bit. He was he's another guy who has made tons of gains, and always I feel like he's got more weapons than anybody else in the sport. So many weapons, like whether it's boxing, kickboxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, MMA, techniques that nobody's seen before. This guy can do so many things inside the cage. It's incredible. But I don't know how many weeks we were out, maybe 4 weeks out, and he got a pretty good cartilage tear, like in the ribs. Had a pretty tough rib injury, and it was significant. Where you're not going to be training for like 4 to 6 weeks when you have a major tear like that. So it was going to be impossible to go through with a fight at that point. So we had to cut it. But who doesn't want to see George fight, man? This guy is an incredible athlete and super entertaining, and he'll be back for sure.
Yeah, I got to ask you, man, because when that happened, I think a lot of people immediately were like, he's got to fight Colby. Like, that's the fight to make. Jorge Masvidal versus Colby Covington. I don't need you to hype it up or anything, but can you just give me the real story behind this? Like, what is the real story behind this, and what would be at stake, really, between those two if they fought?
I mean, what do you mean? I think people know the story. They were friends at one time, and it's gone very bad, and I guess that could be next with how things have fallen. I really have no idea. I'm not George's manager, and I'm not the matchmaker for the UFC, so I don't know what's going to be next. But I know the Edwards fight would be very big. I know the fight with Colby would be very big. I think Gilbert Burns would be big. I'm not certain what's going to be next, but I guess it could be Colby.
Yep, plenty of options. Well, we'll see you in 2022, and best of luck in your 2 title fights this weekend, man. They're 2 very big fights.
Thanks so much.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.